What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of American Horror Story 1984, Season 9, Episode 4, True Killers. Listen. Oh, this was a good episode. Listen, okay. So the episode starts off and we see Montana. She's doing this all male man aerobics class, okay? And you could tell that most of them probably gay or whatever, especially the ride dude. You know, the way he was like, let's put on some Cindy Lauper, and the way he stumped up out of there and everything. So while she doing her stuff, mind you, I should know you knew stuff wasn't gonna go the way that you think it's gonna go as soon as the teacher of the class is over here sniffing coke before they get started, like right in front of everybody, and nobody cares about it. Okay, I said, well, it is the 80s, and so at this point, she's doing what she's doing with the class or whatever, and then here comes Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. He is out there looking into the window and breathing all on the window, hands all on the window. Then he comes in and he's all feeling on himself and like, oh my God, Billy Idol is the dude, rock and roll and all that stuff. Montana come over there talking to him like, what you doing up in here? She talking about his knife. He was like, oh, so you a blade chick. Barbie likes blades and stuff. I said, what is this? So we are seeing the development of how they got along. This is a random hookup, a random get together. They don't know each other, but they connect on a level that they both know that both of them sadistic as hell. Okay, you got the little Rob boy. He want to put on Cindy Lauper. He gets in his feelings because she said no. He runs out and all this stuff. I'm telling so and so about what you're doing and all this shit or whatever. So next thing you know, Montana goes to the dressing room or the locker room or whatever. She getting dressed and getting her things ready. She's the last one there. And as she opens up her locker, she sees and feels blood or something dripping down on her, and it's all in her hair. It's on her locker. Baby girl, she looked up and it is Rod hanging down like a little puppet. I said, intestines and colon, everything just hanging on out. Did you see when Montana was looking up there? She first was like, and then that little smirk came across her face. And then the Night Stalker came up in there. Richard was like, I did that for you because I ain't like the way he was talking to you and all that stuff. Mind you, she stands up on the bench. She's standing in blood, okay? And she slaps him and says, this is the most fucked up thing somebody has ever done for me. Okay? And then she's crying at the same time. Like, this is beautiful. And I'm sitting here like, what in the sadistic hell is going on? Okay. And next thing they start kissing and she was like, go down, and he licking her feet, she getting off on it. He probably was down there eating it too or whatever. Then we get to the scene where they laying on the floor in blood, like they just had sex in that man's blood and stuff. I said, what is going on? This is disgusting. This is a little bit too much. Okay. But then, she basically was like, I need you to do something, okay? Because I got to get rid of this Brooke, this bitch named Brooke. She took something away from me, person that was like Billy Idol to me or whatever, her brother Sam. Now, Sam was supposed to be the best friend to her fiance, Joey. Remember when Joey thought that thought that Sam was sleeping with Brooke, and he wound up shooting him. And then Montana is convinced that Brooke was sleeping with Sam. So at this point, I'm thinking like, if how close really was Sam and Brooke, and how close really was Sam and Joey, that Montana never came around, that Brooke never knew about Montana or whatever, that he had a sister that she don't know her or whatever. Like, was she really just out the picture like that? So that was the question of the day, or the episode for me. Okay. And then we get to, that was then we get to the present. We see them still trying to figure the way out. And Montana is pissed off at the Night Stalker, like, why is she not dead? He was like, I tried to get that bitch, but basically, a couple of times the bitch just keep getting away. She keep getting away. And it was like, you need to get your shit together and you need to go ahead and get it done. Mind you, over there with the infirmary, they got Chet and Xavier and Trevor trying to fix him up or whatever. And at one point he go unconscious and they had to put an adrenaline shot through his chest to get him back. And so at this point they want Chad to stay there by himself. And Trevor want to go get Margaret, okay? And then Xavier want to go get Bertie. And I was like, I don't think this gonna fare well, okay? Because Bertie and Margaret, them two look like the ones that they probably would have survived the whole situation because they've been there before. They know what to go on. You know, they older and all this stuff. So at this point, Margaret sees all these the campers, not the campers, but the two dudes that was playing like they was Mr. Jingles that Mr. Jingle killed last week. Okay, see them, and you know, she just reliving all the whole thing, you know, the blood and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, ever since day one, and the way that she's been so uptight and everything, she just rubs me raw. And I was like, I would not be surprised if I found out that she was in on it with Mr. Jingles. Trevor come up there trying to tell him, you know, we got to get up out of here or whatever. Mr. Jingles here, you know, he's going fucking crazy. Language. I was like, no, girl. No, girl. We're about to die, okay? We are in a fight for our life, okay? That is what we're about to do. I don't give a damn about what language we use. She said, girl, we not finna change this camp. We not finna leave. I can protect us because I got a gun. The campers, they coming here. They gonna replenish this and refresh this campsite. I said, Margaret. No. Now see, after I see what happened, we further see what's going on with Margaret, I feel for the kids. I hope they shut the camp down because Margaret probably gonna do something to them kids. Like, I didn't want nobody like her around my child. You too holy, you too, ooh, you just crazy like, you know? And you know, we get to Xavier, he going over there to see Bertie. Bertie sitting there smoking her cigarette like she always do, making a little bologna sandwiches for the kids because the kids supposed to be there the next day or in a couple of days. And at this point, you know, Xavier's trying to tell her, listen, you got to get up out of here, okay? Come with me. We going to the car. We got to go. Jingles is back. And while he was up there trying to tell her, she wasn't trying to budge, okay? And so he hides under the table because he sees the outline, the shadow of Mr. Jingles coming in and hear him. And so at this point, Mr. Jingles and Bertie had this little conversation. You can tell at first I was about to say, bitch, the conversation started off like it was old lovers that was you know, rekindling the flame. Like, I ain't seen you in a minute, bitch. Okay, what's good? You know, and I said, I'm looking at it and I'm like, are they brother and sisters or whatever? Because they do kind of look alike or whatever. But that wasn't, they didn't say nothing like that. And you could tell she got a little fear in her, just a little bit, you know, trying to keep it calm, cool, and collected. And she was like, let me make you a sandwich or whatever. It was like, it's a long time no see, you know. And I never forget a sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. Baby, let me tell you something. When Bertie was making that peanut butter and jelly, she was making me mad because I ain't never seen nobody make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich like that, okay? Now, what I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I get 2 pieces of bread, right? You got the peanut butter right here. You got the jelly right here. You take the peanut butter, whichever one you want to start off with first, and you slabber it on and you evenly spread it on one bread, okay? Then you take the other bread and then you evenly spread the other on there, and then you put them together like that, okay? Bertie put peanut butter on that thing and used the same knife to put the jelly on top of the peanut butter on the same bread, and then put the other bread. I said, bitch, I ain't never seen no shit like that. That's how y'all be making y'all peanut butter and jelly? What in the white? Girl, I ain't never seen that. And then he stabs the thing. And she was like, you always didn't like your crust or whatever. Next thing you know, it's like they was vibing for a second. And he was going to really just go ahead and eat a sandwich because he was hungry. And he hears this little noise underneath the table and he looks down and it's Xavier. And so at this point, he goes over there trying to get him. And I said, Xavier, you younger than him. This is what I'm not understanding. And I guess this is in the vein of the horror movies because the killers always be either older, physically fucked up, or you know, just not all the way there, slow as ever. They don't ever put in that much exertion. The most exertion that they put in is stabbing somebody or shooting somebody or hitting somebody. That's it. They don't put that much out there. They don't be running. Because when did we see Jason run? When did we see Michael Myers run? Okay, we didn't. Okay, the most we saw running and playing games or whatever was Freddy Krueger. That's it. That would have been cute if they would have put a little bit of Freddy Krueger up in here. But then again, you know, Freddy Krueger was a child molester, and you know, he came to people in their dreams. maybe that's what the little disappearance with the camp counselor coming back and coming in and whatever and not dying and all that stuff keep coming. I don't know, but that would have been cute. That would have been cute. But either way, he get Xavier, bashes him in the back of the head, knocks him out. Then next thing you know, I guess he didn't attack Bertie. Bertie trying to attack him or whatever. He didn't threw her across the room, and then the scene go blank. And then all of a sudden, when it comes back, we see somebody getting stabbed in a white coat, and I was just like, oh my God, poor Bertie, because Bertie was the one with the white coat, and we don't see what else happened to Bertie. But then we see Xavier. He put Xavier in a freaking oven. Okay, now this goes for saying a lot with Xavier because Xavier is all about his appearance. Now, he was supposed to be cooked in that oven, okay? I said, what in the Hansel and Gretel is going on, all right? Some meat pies up in this bitch. Xavier pies. And so, he's stuck up in there. Nobody's there to get him out. So we think like at this point Bertie gone. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. She was a G. Okay. Then we get this scene with Brooke. We go back over there to Brooke. Brooke is in this little shed or whatever. She trying to get herself out, and she finally gets out. She's running in the woods or whatever, and it's like this trick wire that's on the floor, and she touches it a little bit, and then this little thing comes swinging over. They got not needles, but like screws and stuff, pointing objects or whatever, pointed out of it, so it would have just went dead in her face and killed her if it would have hit her. But it did hit her on her shoulder, whatever, so she did get a little bit of cut. And then she bypassed that. Okay, that was one little booby trap that she passed through. And then she ran right into this net that pulls her up. And so here come Rita. Bitch, I got this whole woods booby trapped, okay? And let me tell you something. They always go left, okay, bitch? Had you went right, or you would have just been gone. But no, girl, you had to go back and get the others and do all this and do this shit as a group, whatever. And you could have just went on ahead and left, okay? But let me tell you something. I'm not a nurse, so you can stop calling me Rita. I'm a psychologist, okay? And my whole thing is I'm trying to figure out what Mr. Jingle and how he make him tick, okay? I'm doing a paper on this stuff. I'm doing research or whatever. And it's always a woman victim of something, that they got to go after. So, baby, you to pray. So, right now, we finna see how he do in his own atmosphere and stuff like this. I said, you know what, Donna? Who hurt you to make you want to do this shit? But we'll find that out next week. Because Donna got a backstory on her, too. Okay? I said, girl, it's a mess. Meanwhile, Xavier over there in the kitchen cooking. Like, he is really cooking like a pot roast. And I just felt so bad and so hurt. Because my beautiful boo, my porcelain looking boo, he looked like he got leprosy and all that shit up on here. Like he got boils and shit. Like he is the baby is baking up in there. I mean, skin just bubbling and everything. Okay, I said, oh my God, he's so vain and stuff. So that's not gonna work well with him. Okay, he gets out. Well, Bertie actually pops up onto the oven, and I said, oh my God, Bertie's still alive. Bertie's still alive. She falls down. I said, "Oh shit!" But she reaches up and pulls the ladle that's holding the oven closed. Pull it off so he can push his way out. And at this point, he goes over there and he trying to say, I'm finna go get help. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get help. She was like, no. And she could barely talk and anything. And all she could do, she could barely move, but she reaches up and she gets this big knife and she gives it to him. And she wants him to kill her and to just end it because she know at this point she's not gonna survive it. And he was like, no. He was like, no, no, no. And they had their little connection when they first we first saw them, okay? And even though it was all jokes or whatever, they still had a little connection. And he didn't want to see her die, but he took her life or whatever for her. I said, Bertie, she was the realest one up here. R.I.P. to Bertie because, she was a G. She went out like a G. She knew it was over and she said, just take me out. It is what it is right now. Don't waste your time. You don't have to come back for me in my suffering right about now, okay? That's all I need you to do for me, okay? And once he do that... he catches a glimpse of him in a mirror or something. And he was like, oh my God. I said, Xavier, don't be vain at this moment, okay? Now, at this moment, Montana back in the woods and she comes across Brooke. Now, did you see how she was looking for Brooke? But then she was like, there go that bitch. But then she had to switch it up like she was really concerned for Brooke to keep playing the part. Oh, Brooke, oh my God, Brooke, what's going on? How did you get up here? You know, she was like, it's Rita. Rita? And her name not even Rita. That bitch crazy. She did this shit and woo, woo, woo. And she was like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get you down. She was like, go find something to cut me down. And so at this point, you know, Montana runs into the Night Stalker, and he was over there trying to do a freaking ritual. I said, you know, he got the star and the circle on the floor doing the blood. I said, you know what? You giving me apocalypse tease with my baby dad? Nope. Let me take that back. Because I don't do that devil shit. Devil shit, no. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Mind you, speaking of the devil shit, when Margaret saw them two dudes that was laying on the floor, okay, that Jingles killed last week, she picked up one of the masks and she took the blood and she put a cross on it. I said, girl, okay? Basically with her story, you know, Night Stalker was doing all of that. He was talking about something. I'm trying to you know, summons my father or my lord or whatever to summons and show me where Brooke at. And Montana was like, bitch, she right here, okay? Come on, damn. But then we get into the backstory of Margaret. Margaret was up in her cabin or older cabin or whatever, and she opened up the drawer and she sees this carving of this bear. She goes back into 1970 where she was a camp counselor at Camp Redwood. And Jingles was sitting down there, or I should say Benjamin at this time. He was sitting down there and he was carving his bear. And she was like, what are you doing? And he was like, carving his bear, you know, they're loyal, they do this and they do that, they never leave and all that stuff. And then here go Margaret, and they mate for life. And I said, hold up. Bitch, I ain't see that shit coming. I said, that's nasty. That is, ooh, what is going on? He was a target. That's what it was. I said, girl, you trying to get that man in trouble? Now, I see why he's flipped out and killed your ass or tried to kill your ass, because you up here doing some foul shit with him. Okay? And then the camp counselors or whatever, they over there like, oh, look at these little lovebirds, you know, making fun of them and making her feel embarrassed or whatever. She sits down with him and was like, oh my God, I hate them. I just wish they would go and all this stuff. And while he was carving, he accidentally cussed himself, okay? And so she sits down and she takes his hand, and instead of just going ahead and wiping the blood or getting a piece of paper towel or tissue or even using your shirt or some type of cloth to get the blood up or elevating his hand or something, she elevated that hand up right into her mouth. Into her mouth. Her mouth. You sucking on somebody else's blood, bitch. I'm not finna suck on my own blood, let alone somebody else's blood, and especially somebody that look like that. Girl, no. And I ain't trying to, but you get what I'm saying. Girl, no. Okay. And I just looked at her and I said, oh. So that's why Mr. Jingles came back for your ass, okay? And so at this point, Richard over there, trying to do what he do with Brooke and talking all this shit or whatever. And then Jingles pop up, you know, and at this point, them two get into it, okay? Because they fighting over who gonna kill who first, okay? And so what was killing me was the fact that they kept on pushing Brooke while she's still up in the damn net, swinging her this way, that way. But they fighting each other. They slicing on each other. At one point, Night Stalker had sliced him in his back. Dude sliced him on his arms and his stomach and everything. I was like, he for sure gone. Next thing you know, after they do all this playing around and tussling and shit, Mr. Jingles grabbed Night Stalker by his throat, okay, and put him basically impaled him through his back of the skull, through his mouth, on this branch on the tree, okay? Killed him right then and there. Mind you, Rita then found, Montana then found Donna, a.k.a. Rita, and was like, I know you not Rita, bitch. Now who the fuck you is, and I don't know what you is, but, what's going on? What's good? They get to rapping. They get to fighting and stuff like that. And at this point, you know, at one point, it looked like Rita was about to have the upper hand. She gets this rock, and, Montana gets this stick and just hits her with it, and you saw a little bit of blood spurt out. So I don't know if she hit her in the face or if she hit her, caught her in the shoulder or whatever. Either way, it was a blow that was big enough and hard enough for her to pass out. Okay, and so she go over there and she notices that her boo is gone, and so you have Margaret over here in. Praying to God, saying, I gave her my life for you and all this stuff, and please let this happen, and you showed me my purpose and all this. Baby, come to find out, it goes back to 1970s when Mr. Jingles get caught. Mr. Jingles get caught, and he kept on saying, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. But they found this his little container that had all the ears in there. And then they see him in the psych ward, and they're doing the electroshock therapy with him or whatever. And he just keep on saying, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And the reason why he just hasn't been speaking to anybody is because they fucked his mind up. And they tried to make it seem like, Margaret tried to make it seem like they made you forget everything. And Jingles had came into the cabin and she was like, "This you here because of me. Okay, you forget. You ain't do shit. I'm the one that did shit." I said, I knew this bitch. Now I thought that she was in cahoots with Jingles. No, bitch, she is Jingles. And she just pinned the shit on him. Okay? She targeted him. And I said, just like a fucking white woman. I'm sorry that I had to say that, but let's be honest, okay? And I said, ain't this about a bitch? He was like, you were supposed to protect me. You were supposed to take care of them camp counselors, but your ass never did. The only thing that you did was took the fall for me at the end. I said, bitch, he was forced to. He was forced to. He ain't try to do that shit. She went over there because she saw them making fun of her in the cabin, and she the one that came through and killed all of them and cut their ear off, and then cut her own ear off, and then put it up in that cabin container in her Jingle's room to make it seem like he the one that did it. She used his stories from when he was in war that he did use to take the ear off, but he didn't do that to them campers. It was Margaret's crazy ass. I said, this bitch is crazy. And was like, they not gonna believe, and all they gonna think is that, you came in and attacked me or whatever, and then she took her gun. He came over there. He was like, this is because of you, and she just started shooting him like 2-3 times, okay? Trevor comes in, they all hear the shots, and he comes in, and it was like he tried to attack me and all that stuff, and but you ain't gonna live to see it, and he tried to attack you too, and she wound up stabbing him, killing him, and taking his ear as well. I said, girl, what is your problem? Why are you doing this? You are crazy. What is the reason? What is the reason? Girl, Chet, Montana then met up with Chet and Dave, Chet and Chet at this point because he by himself, and Xavier is outside. He runs across Mr. Jingles because after Margaret kills Trevor, she notices that Mr. Jingles is gone. But it's a pool. His blood is in the carpet, but he's gone. So they cross paths on the Xavier and Jingles cross paths on the bridge. Okay, and Xavier they both tried to go at each other, and they was just too exhausted and too spent from their wounds or whatever to go at each other. And then Xavier was just begging, please, please, please. And so at this point, Jingles just walked away, I guess, and Brooke popped up looking for him and was like, Jingles was just here and all this stuff and woo woo woo, and they trying to find out what's going on. And they hear this explosion because at this point, Blake, the whole thing, Xavier was trying to get to Blake's car, okay, the porn dude. He was trying to get to the car. He was like, he got this limo. He came in the Cadillac or whatever, so we can get that car. So they hear this, they see this big explosion or whatever. Come to find out the car is on fire. And I'm pretty sure that Margaret ass is the one that did that shit. Because she gonna say, it was like this when I came. Okay? Margaret was the one that did that shit. I don't know what's going on, baby. Let me find out. Candy, aka Rita, aka Donna, she winds up waking up and seeing freaking the Night Stalker floating in the air. Bitch, he was reincarnated. That motherfucker was resurrected. And I said, you know what? I don't want to use resurrection and the devil and all that stuff in the same sentence, but that's what happened. He came back to life, and I was just like, what in the world? What in the world? Girl, let me find out. I'm pretty sure that Margie probably was the one who Did they show who killed Blake? Because it was either at this point, it could have been Mr. Jingles or it could have been Margaret at this point. Baby, this was a good episode. I liked it. I really did. You know, we going to get into Donna's story. And did you hear when Blake Xavier gonna say, "This is all your fault. You brought him here." On next week's episode, this is to Donna. "This is all your fault. Look at me. Look at me. I would never be on the cover of a TV guide now." I said, "That's your standard. That's your standard." Okay. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and I will see you guys later. Peace.